Welcome back. You're watching HFO-TV. HFO-TV is co-sponsored by J.R. Johnson LLC, specialists in multifamily restoration and repair work. Gantry Incorporated, the nation's largest independent mortgage banking firm. Butler Exchange Group, offering 1031 tax-free exchange services. And Forensic Building Consultants, experts in the diagnosis, repair, and preservation of multifamily assets.
Welcome back to HFO TV. I'm Greg Frick, partner at HFO Investment Real Estate. And today we have Michael Havlik with us today. And, we've had Michael on before back, and we worked together at Multifamily Northwest on a committee. But I thought I'd bring him in because he's got a new position now at Portland State University. And I thought it'd be good for the market to kind of hear about some of the changes at Portland State in regards to real estate. There's been the Center for Real Estate for years, but I'll let Michael kind of explain the new role. He's the academic director for property management within the Center for Real Estate. So first off, congratulations on the new role, and maybe tell the audience a little bit about what it is and kind of what's changed in the center. I'm not, most people are maybe kind of familiar if they're from Portland about Portland State's commitment to the commercial real estate industry, but this kind of brings it to a whole new level.
Greg, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And I'm very excited to be at Portland State now as the academic director. There's a demand in our industry for kind of the next generation of professional property manager. And Portland State recognized that need. And there's several universities nationwide, probably 8 of them that have property management specialties now. But Portland State is unique in that we do have the focus on property management, both residential and commercial property management in our degree. And what's fantastic is that we have several tracks in our education, and some tracks that actually lead students to get an experience with property management in society class. And maybe they are not in business at all. Maybe they're in another degree area entirely, and they have the opportunity to take a class that introduces them to real estate. And some students actually realize the utility that will have in their future career.
Right.
And even somebody in psychology, I was reviewing some applications for scholarships, and this young woman suggested that she knew that she eventually wanted to run a clinic. And she knew that she would have to have knowledge of how to sign leases and actually run the properties. And she had kind of the foresight to think, if I had this as a minor to my degree, that would help me professionally after I get my PhD and go on to do what I plan to do. And I just every time I meet a student, they have kind of a different direction that they're coming at this from, but realize what a critical component real estate is in terms of generating generational wealth, in terms of themselves if they want to buy real estate or own a house, or if they see it contributing to their marketability as an employee later in life. So there are a lot of different ways that people come into this, and it isn't necessarily through the business school.
And how long has this been in place?
It's been in place for 2 years.
Okay.
And I think on the other side, there's a demand from the industry for professionals that are perhaps interested in being that regional property manager, or perhaps interested in owning their own businesses. And with the regional property manager, when you look at the curriculum that we're going through, I mean, you hit on real estate finance and human resources and marketing strategy and accounting, and to have students come out with that well-rounded business background and then an expressed interest in real estate. You come out with students that are really motivated and have a great framework to move into a company and know what they need to do, what they need to learn, and they're ready to go.
So, because I know in our experience with the Center for Real Estate, years ago, and recently, it's kind of, as we talked about off camera, a little bit on the, the development side and land use planning and things like that. We brought people in from there on the underwriting and financing. This is, again, I remember when we were at Multifamily Northwest, hearing the management companies talk about the need of how do you bring that next generation in, and is there kind of a base of education we can give? So I think it's wonderful that Portland State has stepped up to do this, and you've got a lot of management companies here, so there's hopefully input from them as well and helping these students to come out. Is it a 2-year, 4-year? How long is the program?
It depends on how the students schedule their classes. It's typically going to be about a 2-year class. Okay. If you're a business student, you have 19 credits total, but some of the options for electives overlap with your business degree.
Got it.
So technically, there are going to be 12 credit hours that are kind of the central ones that you'll need to do for your certificate. So if you're a business major, you can pursue the certificate. If you're a non-business major, you would pursue a minor.
A minor
in
in.
business.
Gotcha. Got it. Okay.
What's been exciting for me, just joining Portland State, I guess I have a different perspective on my college experience, but they have a tremendous focus on supporting individual students' academic success. And I just, from the orientation at the very beginning to the support services that they have at the school, I'm just excited about realizing how many different supportive people that I can direct them to if they have different needs, if it's career counseling, if it's academic advising. I was so pleased to find that my academic advisor, who I've sent a student to work on his resume and to get prepared for interviews, she comes from our industry.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And it's like, this is amazing. This is exactly what we need, and it'll be just so beneficial to our students.
Well, and I think too, having a university in Portland, which is kind of the center of commerce within the state, where you have most of the management companies are headquartered or have offices here. I think there's a good avenue, from either bringing in people to talk to the students and or having them the ability to, from internships to mentoring and all that. It's a lot easier to do that within Portland than being a student down in say Ashland or Eugene, where maybe there's not as many industry companies in that location.
Absolutely, and I've been contacted by many of my industry contacts just to say, hey, we're happy to help, and if you need some, there's so much experience around me that I can reach out to bring in a guest speaker for in person or on a Zoom, depending on where you want to do it. But I do have just great people that will also kind of enrich those classes. And the other thing is that we're working on getting internships with businesses as well.
Okay.
So many of our classes, Greg, are set up to be evening classes. We have a lot of non-traditional students at Portland State University that work a full-time job. And we've, so that we have few of the classes are evening classes so that they can work during the day and do an internship, like a full paid internship during the day.
Okay.
So we're looking for opportunities for internships. If any of the management companies out there want to contact me, I'll definitely pick up the phone and connect the right student with you. We also have Real Estate Emerging Leaders Club. So our students are getting together and really focusing on what they can do to improve their professionalism and actually go out to sites and do tours and be on the ground with a physical asset in front of them and meeting with people who are doing the actual work. Our commercial property management class, I went out the other night and we did a tour. It wasn't my class, I just tagged along on the tour, but we went through the World Trade Center. And they showed us, top to bottom and all their operations, and it was wonderful to have a group of students that are just really tuned into what they're doing and learning, firsthand.
And the drive to start this, like I said, it's been around a couple years. Was it the industry here, or was it the kind of a combination of, the foresight of, hey, look, we need to get, younger people kind of look, because I think a lot of people don't really understand the nuances of management at all, actually. And so I think when, a lot of younger people think of management, their only relationship to it is that's who I deal with when I'm living in an apartment.
I think that Julie Gibson, who is the director, I think that she was hearing it consistently from the industry that there is a demand, and that if students took these courses, we'd have jobs for them. Right. And the industry is also kind of kicked in with, they support our school, they support with scholarships,
Oh, good.
they support with internships, and they're hiring our students as they graduate. So I think I have this feeling that it's a degree and a certificate that's going to pick up momentum as people, recognize that not only does it prepare them for the job market, but it also closely mirrors, for example, what Institute of Real Estate Management teaches, and what National Apartment Association is teaching in their certificate programs as well.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I want to, thank you for doing this. It was great when I heard the news of your, I'm sad to see you leave Multifamily Northwest, but again, you're not going that far away. You're just downtown in Portland State, and I think it's been very well demonstrated there is a need for education and having, students come out, having a place that, is hiring, so there's jobs, which is a lot of the reason why you're going to school. And also it's a need, like I said, experience. People don't really understand property management. Mm-hmm. And I think as more people see that it's a viable career. And so I want to thank you for taking the time to do this.
Thank you, Greg.
And if people want to learn more about Portland State, they can go to the website below. And like I said, Michael's happy to reach out if somebody has ideas for an internship or wants to look at that direction. He'd be more than happy to help. So thank you.
Yeah. And thank you for HFO's support of our program as well.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. And we'll see you again next time on HFO-TV. Thank you.
Our entire office specializes in multifamily real estate, making HFO the largest multifamily brokerage in the Pacific Northwest. Your success is our passion. Build your legacy with HFO. Call 503-241-5541 or visit our website at hfore.com for more information.